Throughout history, prophets have been asked to deliver difficult messages. They warned kings, they confronted corruption, they called nations back to righteousness. But one prophet received a command so unusual, so personal, that it still shocks readers today. God asked him to marry an unfaithful woman, not as a punishment, not as a mistake, but as a message, a living symbol meant to reveal the painful relationship between God and his people. The prophet's name was Hosea, and his story is one of the most emotional and mysterious messages recorded in the Bible. The story takes place during a time when the kingdom of Israel was spiritually declining. Although the nation had once been devoted to God, many people had begun turning toward other gods and foreign traditions. Altars were built to idols. Sacred practices were mixed with pagan rituals. The spiritual faithfulness that once defined Israel was slowly disappearing. This period of history is described in the ancient text known as the Book of Hosea. Instead of sending a simple warning through words, God chose a different approach. The message would be lived, not just spoken. God gave Hosea a command unlike any other given to a prophet. He was told to marry a woman who would not remain faithful to him. Her name was Gomer. From the beginning, Hosea knew that the relationship would be painful, yet he obeyed. Their marriage began like any other. For a time, they lived together and had children, but eventually, Gomer turned away. She pursued other relationships and abandoned her husband. For Hosea, the betrayal was deeply personal. The pain was real, but the purpose of the story was greater than the marriage itself. God revealed the meaning behind the prophet's difficult experience. Just as Gomer had been unfaithful to Hosea, the nation of Israel had been unfaithful to God. The people had turned away from the covenant. They had chased after other gods, foreign alliances, and worldly power. In the same way a spouse feels the pain of betrayal, the scriptures describe God feeling the sorrow of Israel's disobedience. The prophet's marriage became a living illustration. Through Hosea's life, the people could see their own spiritual condition. The story showed that faithlessness was not just a religious issue. It was a broken relationship. Even the children born to Hosea and Gomer carried symbolic meaning. Each name represented part of God's message to the nation. One child was given a name that represented judgment. Another name symbolized the loss of mercy, and another represented the separation between God and his people. These names were reminders that the consequences of unfaithfulness could not be ignored. The nation was being warned. Change was still possible, but time was running out. Despite the betrayal, the story does not end with abandonment. Instead, it takes an unexpected turn. God tells Hosea to do something extraordinary. He is commanded to go and find Gomer. She had fallen into hardship and possibly even slavery. Yet Hosea was told to bring her back, not with anger, but with love. Hosea searched for the woman who had broken his heart. When he found her, he paid a price to bring her home. He restored the relationship. This act of redemption became the most powerful message of the entire story. Through Hosea's actions, a deeper truth was revealed. Even when the people of Israel turned away, God had not abandoned them. Despite their failures, their rebellion, and their spiritual unfaithfulness, God continued to call them back. The story revealed a love that refuses to give up, a love that seeks restoration even after betrayal, a love that redeems what seems lost. The story of Hosea is more than an ancient account. It is one of the most emotional portraits of divine love in the Bible. Instead of describing faithfulness with abstract ideas, the story shows it through human experience. It shows heartbreak, it shows forgiveness, and it shows redemption. For many readers, the message is clear. The relationship between God and humanity is not simply about laws or rituals. It is about covenant, about loyalty, about love that continues even when people fall short. Thousands of years after it was written, the story of Hosea continues to challenge and inspire. It reminds readers that faithfulness matters. It reminds nations and individuals alike that turning away from truth carries consequences. But it also offers hope, because at the center of the story is not just betrayal, it is redemption. The prophet who married an unfaithful woman did not just deliver a message, he lived it. And through that painful experience, one of the most powerful portraits of divine love was revealed.